Happy Sunday, everyone. This is an opportunity for us to have conscious conversations, and I'm introducing our first opportunity to do this with Julie, Kendall, Nabil, Musa. Let me say your last name for me, Nabil, so we can get it right. Musa and Angela Harmon. We are a trio that are often having conversations that lift us up and have a can-do approach to life. And we have a quote we want to share with you. Not everything has a happy ending, but it has a new beginning. And we're here to talk about can-do approaches in a time of social distancing. So our topics on conversations being conscious will always be, but now we're focusing on the fact that we're social distancing right now in a time of COVID-19. So we're all three related as friends, and we have a friend that we want to focus on today, which is Jules, because she did something quite outstanding that we would never think of, and in these new times and new ways, Julie is going to share with us a story about her foster mom with her dog, Ruby, and all the things that have occurred. And then Nabil and I have had questions about this along the way. So what we're going to do is have that conversation now. So Julie, thank you for letting us target you, put you on the spot today, and love on you, and you love us back. But tell us about your experience and your journey with Ruby.
Well, being alone during this time of uncertainty has tremendous amounts of challenge. And one of them for me was fighting loneliness and feeling like I wasn't sure about my purpose. And I'd get on Zoom calls with friends, and a lot of them would be couples, and I'd be so happy that they had each other, but I was just feeling, it just made me feel more lonely. And I was trying to date, like phone dates or FaceTime dates or Zoom dates, and it just was leaving me feeling really empty. And I would go to sleep sometimes crying, or wake up sometimes in the morning at 4 a.m. feeling like, gosh, this is just really hard. I was feeling depressed. I mean, I was having moments of intense depression, not to the point where I couldn't get out of bed, but just some serious depression. And I was on a Zoom call with a bunch of my friends, including you guys. And one of our mutual friends had a foster dog. And I was so, like, something inside me just kind of like, I don't know, sparkled when I saw the dog in the picture. And it's like something happened to my heart. And I thought, maybe I should consider doing something like that. It's only temporary. I've never really thought about having a dog, but I'm like, it's only temporary, but maybe I'll give that a look into. So of course I'm very proactive. So I got on the phone and contacted the shelter, and he called me, the guy from the shelter, and said, we don't have any dogs left. They've been all given out to homes, but I do work with a company, an organization that has foster pregnant moms. How would you feel about having a foster pregnant dog? And I was like, oh, I don't know. That's wow. And he started telling me about the beautiful experience of life and, birth and motherhood and, being a midwife, all that stuff. And I thought to myself, that would be some experience to remember, and to bring life into my home in a time of like uncertainty and confusion and depression and, all this stuff. It just kind of felt like something just begged me to say yes. So I had no idea what I was getting into, because I have a swimming pool in my living room, literally a kiddie pool in my living room filled with 11 puppies. And they are very loud. It's very smelly in here. They're constantly, calling for their mom. They're constantly, the mom is dripping all over the floor. It's a lot. I mean, it's a lot, but
Well, one of the things that I was asking you, because I've known you for a long time, and honestly, I never thought that Julie would bring a dog into her home, because she does live a very busy lifestyle. She's always out about doing stuff. and the fact that she not only brought a dog, but she also brought a pregnant dog.
Yes.
That's really commendable,
Yes.
because to do that, that you're going to be involved, and you knew that this dog was due within a week or so from you adopting it to bring it in. And I think that, to me, where when you were telling me, I was, it took a step back and I said, wow, I'm really impressed, because I was not expecting that from you. And I think the circumstances that we're in, we're all having to reevaluate what's important for us. And that's, to me, that's like, I want to hear that part of the story, and the dog, the giving the birth, and all the caretaking that you're having to do that you really weren't even aware of.
Yeah.
That's where I think I'd like to step in, because Julie and I know each other because of Nabel, and we've been talking on a daily basis. And she actually shared with me that she was getting a dog, and then when she told me the dog's name was Ruby, my son had a puppy named Ruby. So Ruby, our foster dog, became a family member, extended all the way to Wisconsin. So I saw that happening. And then as she shares the birth story, some motherly instincts kicked in even before they started to. And Julie may be an aunt, but she has not actually had a child herself. So what happened, even though that didn't happen in our conversation, she instantly, intuitively became a mom.
Mm-hmm.
She got ready, she did things that she didn't know she would do, and that's the part that just, my heart just sings, and you can see the smile on my
Yes.
face. So
Yeah.
I'll
So,
stop talking so you can tell that part.
yeah,
But
so how did that affect you? Like, tell us what you got out of all of this, the good and the difficult.
Yeah. Well, the good is I learned something that, first of all, saying yes when your heart tells you something really strong, very important lesson, because we tend to talk ourselves out of things all the time. And I could have easily talked myself out of that, but something inside me lit up and I just went with it and said yes, to uncertainty and to something new. I knew that it wasn't going to be permanent, um, but I also knew that it could be something really tremendously beautiful and enriching in my life. So I said yes. So that's lesson number one. The instinct that came in when Ruby went into labor was like unbelievable. I slept on the couch, which my couch is not that comfortable, so that I could sleep next to her. And I set my alarm every hour just to check on her to make sure that she was okay. Because I wasn't sure if she was dying, because she was breathing so heavy and not eating and acting really weird. So I set my alarm every hour and got up and looked at her and just talked to her and made sure that I kept her as close as possible to me. And then, so I hardly slept at all. And then the next day I did not move from my house, and then she started delivering right on my floor. She got up and walked around and she delivered right on my floor. And I like picked up I called the shelter, but I picked up the sack and put it in the pool and started helping her peel off the stuff to get the baby breathing, and getting the placenta off. And then, like the first 3 or 4 were like that. And then her instincts kicked in and she started just, immediately being able to do it herself. But yeah, this motherly instinct. And then that night I slept on the couch again. I slept on the couch for 2 nights, actually, just to make sure that, the puppies were okay, that she was okay, that she knew that I was there, just in case, that grandma was there, just in case she.
I
But
love it. I love it.
it really changed me tremendously. Like, I can't explain it. I just feel like it brought so much joy and love, like it just more blossoming love and joy to my heart. Like, and recognizing how much further we can go with our lives when we just say yes.
Yeah, one of the things that you mentioned is that this dog was a stray that you
Yeah.
brought in, and you were mentioning about how loving the
Mm-hmm.
dog was, and you could tell that the dog really appreciated what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And and you
Yep.
saw a lot of love coming from the dog towards you.
Yeah.
Just share that part with us.
Yeah.
Please.
Um, I don't know if she was in a home, someone's home before or not, because she knows some commands, but she's so quick to learn. She just always looks at me like when I tell her a command. And that's the other thing. Like, I've never been great with stuff like that, but all of a sudden that kicked in too. I'm like, my communication with her, like, she like stops and looks at me, tries to understand what I'm saying, because she just, it's like she knows that, like, I sacrificed this for her. It's like she has this inner knowing that this was, something that I wouldn't have normally done in my life, but she just wants to make sure that I know that she is so appreciative that she will stop and listen and try to do whatever she can to make it easier on me, to so that I know that she really cherishes and admires and respects my word, as her mom.
Yeah, so for closing, I want to ask you, as far as you were talking earlier about being lonely and waking up and just feeling really depressed, how has that changed, if any, since you've had the dog in your home?
That's a really good question.
It is.
Yeah, because there's so many people out there that are depressed and lonely right now. I talk to a lot of them. I would say that, it's keeping me very busy, so it's very distracting. But I feel like that love that I get from her, and then seeing her and her puppies together, and then hearing the puppies, you can hear them in the background right now, they're starting to wake up. But I don't know, that's just, it's so fulfilling for me that it's, that the depression will come, but it doesn't feel as lengthy or as deep as it was. It'll be like smaller amounts of it, so
Yeah.
it's definitely lessened a lot.
Yeah.
This has definitely lit up my life a lot, and gave me some whole new outlook on myself and my life and the possibilities of what we can do.
Mhm. For closing, one of the things, that I would like to say is that uh, we can also help other people, because a lot of times the focus is always on us, especially when we're by ourselves. So sometimes, like, how can we think outside the box, look to others and see who might need us, and offer some assistance or time, even just calling them to say hello and checking in on them, because we are at a time, unusual times, and we've got to think outside the box, and sometimes we do need to go into the inner self, so that we can pull something out and say, how can I take this love that I have and share it with others? And I think, Angela, the quote that we have is really perfect for this meeting, because it says, not everything has a happy ending, but it has a new beginning. And with Julie, with the coronavirus, she's stuck at home. It's been very difficult, but the happy ending to you came where you adopted this dog, and now you've got 11 puppies to take care of for several more weeks. There's a lot of love that's really going to come out of it, and it's also going to help you make that time go by a little bit faster, so that you're not feeling lonely and depressed, and you're giving that love to these animals that need it, who actually love us back unconditionally, and we
We
can learn a lot from them.
We can. We can.
I think such an important message is, really, during this time, we don't have a choice as to, what, being able to go outside, being able to go back to our normal lives. So we have to try new things. We have to just be still and open ourselves up to the possibilities of trying new things, because the other things are not necessarily working. So we just, have to trust and say yes. I think saying yes to the possibility of love coming into your life, no matter what form it is really
And
important.
thank you, Julie and Bill. What I'd like to include as we conclude is that the world will never be the same. We're not going back to, we're going into, and it's a new day, and you created that new day. It's a new way. There's things that we have that we're equipped with that we will bring into the new day,
Mhm.
but we are going into the world a whole new way, because if we did what we did, we will get what we got. So it's time for us to get new things, and each of us have been able to invite that, because it always comes from within. It's never out there. So when it comes from within and you listen and you agree, you have the outcome that Jules has. And we want to create more of that through this dialogue. So thank you,
Absolutely.
everyone, for
And for
joining.
closing,
Bill, you have another comment.
yeah, well, and for closing, this is conscious conversation part one. It's
Yes,
time of social distancing, so there's going to be other
yes,
conversations that we're going to be having.
yes.
And for those that are viewing this, please send us a comment if you'd like to be involved, be interviewed. If you have a wonderful story to share with us, that's what this is all about. We
Yes.
want something positive out there, but we also want to be real. We want to share the stories, the struggles that you're having, but also we want to be able to share the victories that really come out of situations like these. So thank you for tuning in, and can't wait to see you guys again.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care.